Namaste. I'm Susan Kaylock, the president of the Board of Trustees here. I was just about to go into service. Why don't you join me?
Hello, I'm Reverend Bobby. I'm the senior minister here at Namaste. Welcome. We're glad you came to join us. Come on in. We're about to start. Good evening, Namaste. It's so good to be with you this evening on our weekly Sunday service. Really grateful. We've got an amazing service planned with everyone. Just so you know, a couple things that are happening today. We have Denise Rosier all the way from Colorado Springs, and she's just going to be showcasing her talent. And I find her music so just beautifully deep. And so I'm really grateful that she's here today. I'm seeing folks sign on and get ready to get our Sunday started. So before we begin, I wanted to do a tribute to Black History Month. This is Black History Month. And one of the things that's amazing is there are so many great leaders out there that have done so much in the community that is African American. And our performers, and I call them both physical and performing artists that have done so much, that have brought such great recognition to the fact that there are many of our leaders that have done amazing things in not just our nation, but the world. So today I want to bring tribute to a fact that is probably not so well known. And one of those is Google did some research recently on the fact that the most searched in some key categories of leaders in our nation always goes back to these amazing African American leaders. So for today, as tribute for African American History Month, let's honor these amazing leaders through this video.
I'm telling you already.
But just like life. All right.
Air Jordan ready to take off.
Can I get an amen? And welcome to the very first National Oprah Winfrey Show!
Thank you, Reverend Bobby. That was powerful.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone, to Namaste Center for Spiritual Living. I'm going to light a candle that will remain lit during our service today. And this is a symbol of the light that is spirit in, as, and through our lives. And I welcome all. I'll begin with our monthly affirmation. There is only one power, the power of God. This power is the only power at work in my affairs, and it is always working for increase. I fill my mind with God's ideas of abundance, and nothing can prevent their full demonstration in my affairs. There is no evil to stop this from taking place, as God is all there is in my world. I praise prosperity. I talk prosperity. I love prosperity. for God is my prosperity. I accept it with joy, use it with wisdom, and release it again into my world with love. My world is easy and increased good is appearing. And I take us into our invocation now. Wherever you are, please know that this is a place that welcomes you. That together we recognize there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. We open our hearts, we open our minds, we open our ears and eyes to feel and sense and know and touch the divine that is the truth of all life, the truth of you and the truth of me. I give thanks for this amazing community, for the leaders of this community, and for each of you who have touched my life. And as we begin to open to the divine idea that Spirit has for us today, I give thanks for Reverend Bobby for delivering that message. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Let me live and let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Sing along, 2, 3, 4. Let me love in a holy, holy way. 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 Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me love from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love will heal us all. Let me know that love will heal us all. Oh, let me know each day a little wise. Let me walk each day a little wiser. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Kong. That was absolutely delightful.
Thank you.
Hello, namaste. Hello, namaste. My name is Debbie M. Folks, and I am one of the Board of Trustees, and I am here to share some announcements with you. First, we are going to talk about who we are. I honor, please speak this along with me. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. And next, we are going to read our mission. I learn practical science of mind tools and practice in a loving, connective, and vibrant community to reveal my power and change my life. And how do we do this? We awaken to a new truth in our lives. We realize how that truth has played out in our lives. We take our new knowledge and we transform our lives. And then we repeat the process in our lives in new ways. And our power statements. We are a thriving, dynamic, spiritual community. We are Namaste, and this stuff works. Okay, this Wednesday, bingo. Okay, this Wednesday, the 24th, 7 p.m., join us for some online bingo. Ask everybody you know to sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's prizes awarded. This is going to be a great fundraiser for Namaste. So please join us this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Information on our website. Next slide. Okay, part of our Digging Deeper series on Wednesday nights, Wednesday, March 3rd, we are going to have a therapeutic meditation for body, mind, and soul with Gucharan Khalsa. And Reverend Veronica is hosting an evening with Gucharan Khalsa. We will explore the needs and available resources to come alive in these challenging times. Through guided journeys and research-proven meditation, we'll step into ways to embrace our light and our shadow, to be whole. Our personal truth requires both being vulnerable and choosing courage. That is what the world needs from us now. Gucharan Khalsa's background is deeply rooted in both Western and Eastern traditions. A mental health professional for over 40 years and a licensed psychologist, his interest is in the deep patterns of mind, emotion, and spirit, how they are foundational to our lives, our communities, and our planet. You must register to receive the Zoom link for these sessions. Next slide, please. Okay, join us on Sunday morning, March 7th, as Reverend Brandon shares his unique insights. He is a noted author, LGBTQ activist, and a theologian working at the intersections of spirituality and social renewal. He writes regularly for Pathos and has bylines in Time Magazine, San Diego Union Tribune, the Huffington Post, NBC, and the Washington Post. As a trusted voice on progressive faith and politics, Robertson is a regular commentator in national and global media outlets, including National Public Radio, The Independent UK, The New York Times, and Politico. Reverend Brandon will discuss spiritual leadership during this important time. So please join us on March 7th. Next slide, please. Okay, bring your beautiful singing voices. Namaste. Join the SoCal Center for Spiritual Living Regional Choir. Any information that you need on this, please email Julie Bathke and Marilee Adler. And it's not too late to join. It's Thursdays at 6 p.m. Next slide. And it's also not too late. Always, you can sign up and on our self-service portal. We're now fully launched, and I myself am on there, and I've seen a lot of our community members there as well. So it's a great way to connect. If you have any questions, please contact Stephanie Melendez for more information. And this information is also on our website. Next slide. And start your mornings on weekdays with prayer, support, and connection. Join our practitioners as they facilitate online daily spiritual practice, 7 a.m. by phone or Zoom. Thank you. Hello, everybody. And I have the privilege of introducing Denise Rosier. She is our guest musical talent and just a beautiful, beautiful voice. Welcome, Denise.
Oh, thank you. Gosh, hey, namaste. How are you guys? It's been many years. And so it is just great to be back with you again. I can still remember you. And so the energy around that just feels really familiar. And it's great to be with you again. Especially since we are all gathering online right now. And, in the midst of this pandemic, and we can't be together, and in the ways that comes between us, and the way, politics has been just kind of a thing that's been between a lot of us. I know that social media has really been focused and just fixated on all of these things that drive a wedge between us, or just want to highlight the things that we can't see eye to eye on. And so this next song was a song that I wrote to really bring our attention back to all of the things that truly exist and are alive between us. Love is alive in the space between us. Feel that love right now. God speaks out in the words between us. Hear those words right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Spirit shines in the light between us. See that light right now. Peace is born in the good between us. See that peace right now. I am holy. You are holy. There is beauty between us. Between us. Faith
Won't you sing it with me? We are holy. 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 Love is alive in the space between us. Love is alive in the space between us. Love is alive between us.
Thank you so much, Denise. Those beautiful words are the lead into our meditation today, everyone. So wherever you are, I invite you to take a few quiet moments here, all of us together. We awoke and awaken in an awareness during this time of reflecting on the words that Denise sang. I invite you to repeat them after me. I am holy. You are holy. We are holy. Love is the light between us. Take a deep breath in and out. And once again, perhaps close your eyes this time and hear yourself repeating these words after me. I am holy. You are holy. We are holy. Love is the light between us. Just drink those words in. Namaste. I am holy. You are holy. We are holy. Love is the light between us. Just breathe in deeply and slowly and exhale. Notice whatever is present in your body. Just notice. Breathe deeply this presence. I am holy. You are holy. We are holy. Light and love is the light between us. Love is the light between us. Take these words, this truth, into your meditation practice this week. And if your eyes have been closed, I invite you to open them gently now. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. Feel the seat that supports you wherever you are. And this concludes our meditation today. And before we move along in the service, I want to take a moment just to thank all of you for the journey, the spiritual journey that I've been on. You know, the question being asked today is what brings us to Namaste? And I think too, what keeps us here? Because it's an amazing community. It's an amazing philosophy. It was scary at first to step into a new place. And I got to take classes and I began to integrate spiritual practices in my own life. whether it's meditation, whether it's journaling, whether it was tithing. And I got to learn these spiritual principles and really put them to the test. And one that's most profound in my life is to be able to observe that the abundance that is God is my abundance. And it shows up everywhere in my life, an abundance of friends and family, of God in my life. And I am so grateful for that. And for each of you for being on this journey too. So please open your hearts again for our amazing musical guest, Denise Rosier, as we invite her to share another amazing song with us.
You are the light in a darkened room and rain on a desert floor. Love beating in the hardest heart, calm to a raging storm. You're the miracle of miracles, moving through everything, and you move in me, move in me. You are the bread for a hungry soul, life with the truth laid bare. The moon that glows with the light of the sun, but even that can't compare. You're the wonders of wonders, shining through everything, and you shine in me. I am alive with your love, oh God. You are high and lifted up. I am alive with your love, oh God. You are high and lifted up, pure and holy. I am solely what you've made me with your love, oh God. I am a pure and sacred gift you have opened up, like the stream that spills from the edges of an overflowing cup. You're the blessing of blessings, moving through everything, and you flow through me, flow through me. I am alive with your love, oh God. You are high and lifted up. I am alive with your love, oh God. You are high and lifted up, pure and holy. I am solely what you've made me with your love, oh God. I am alive with your love, oh God. You are high and lifted up. I am alive with your love, oh God. You are high and lifted up, pure and holy. I am solely what you've made me with your love, oh God. I am alive with your love, oh God. You are high and lifted up, pure and holy. I am solely what you've made me. With your love, oh God.
Wow. Denise, Um, Amazing, just beautiful. I find your music speaks like a prayer. That's what I was getting a sense of in our service today. Um, just very beautiful, and it just very deepening. Like, I feel very connected, and I know that's the purpose of many artists, but could you talk about that for just a moment? What you try to do with your music?
I think that for me, inspirational music is very, very personal. And so, first of all, I'm so glad that those songs connected with you and that they spoke to you, because all of the lyrics and the songs that I write are very true for me. And so, there was a time just way back when in my early life that I was part of a different faith tradition. And so I grew up in the traditional Christian church and really enjoyed, being part of the music in that, in church. But I realized that the God that I was in relationship with and the God that I loved, I was taught wasn't necessarily so down with everything about me. And so, I had gotten to a point where I realized that God and I had our own relationship, that we weren't part of maybe what other people wanted us to be part of. And so God and I went our own way. And I thought, gosh, what is going to happen to me musically? Because I thought I was on one path, and now I feel like I'm not on any path at all. But I couldn't stop writing. And I realized that I just had to write the songs that were about my relationship with the God that I understood.
Mhm.
And so, what you hear is not just me writing songs because it's fun. I mean, I do love writing songs, but it's very personal and it's very emotional, and it comes from a place that is very deep and honest inside of me. And so, if you are connecting to that, then, that's even an even bigger blessing, really, that it could be something that helps you connect with God too.
Well, I think what's interesting about music, and this is what I sort of feel like in your music, is that it's it's really important for me to hear other people's words about what God is and what that relationship is, because it expands my own idea.
Mm.
And what music does for me is it opens up my heart so that I can feel it. So while you're sharing words, the idea that it's with music is just that beautiful heart opening that I just really connect to what you have to say. Um, I wanted to go to something that I found really interesting. So you've won pop five we Posey Music Awards, Positive Music Awards,
Mm.
and you were the first artist to introduce New Thought music through Best Contemporary Christian Gospel Album in the Independent Music Awards. That's a pretty big deal.
I was really excited about that too, because I wasn't sure um, you know, when I was going to go ahead and see what was going on with the Independent Music Awards. I mean, because with most awards, they have a contemporary Christian or gospel or that type of category, and anything that's outside of that, anything that comes outside of the traditional Jesus and the cross kind of music will get relegated to new age, or in the case of kirtan, it kind of goes either new age or world music.
Right.
And so so I just thought, well, I mean, this is an inspirational album, and I don't think that inspirational music should be tied down to a faith path, and that contemporary Christian music owns all of inspirational music. So I thought, okay, I'm going to throw this out there and see what happens. And, they're going to listen to it, and let's see what happens. So I was really excited when my very first New Thought album was called One Heart, and that was released in 2013. And that was the first one to get nominated. So I was really surprised, but really glad too, because, again, here were all of these messages and these themes and these themes in these songs that were part of a different philosophy. There was no unworthiness. There was no, I need to be saved by something outside of myself. None of that was part of the song or part of the album at all. And so, when they listened to it, they didn't go, well, we can't include this. And so I was really hoping that at some point, and I did talk to them a little bit when I got the nomination, and I said, I think that the category really needs to be inspirational music, because it isn't that it's for one, there's all kinds of music out there that is inspiring. There's all types of philosophies and ideas that connect in some deep spiritual way to God, in whatever way people or writers or performers are connecting to God. And all of those should be out there for people to hear and experience and be recognized for. So I was just really excited that, I personally just really feel like New Thought, that philosophy is really what people are looking for right now. And they don't realize that either one, they don't realize it exists, or that it's available to them. And so the more that, what I have as an artist to give it more recognition, or just to kind of get it out there to people, I think is, exciting.
Well, I think your music's great. I'm going to bring up one last point because I think it's so interesting. You moved from Orange County, Long Beach area, and you moved to Colorado Springs, and you were part of the House Hunters, one of the House Hunters shows. But the thing I found most interesting about it was you moved to Colorado Springs, which even in my own sort of perception, it was pretty conservative. And in looking at places, that would have been one of the last places I picked. But what I found interesting was there was an article done on you in a local paper that said that part of your journey was to further help defeat the city's reputation of intolerance. Could you tell us just a little bit about that?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I actually lived in Colorado Springs for a year. And funny enough, we lived very near where Focus on the Family is. And so when we moved back to California, I was there forever. And then when it came time for my wife, Christy, and I to think about moving and just to get out of the traffic and all of the hubbub that was in California, I said, hey, what about Colorado Springs? And so we moved here, and gosh, once we landed here, we realized that Colorado Springs is a lot gayer than it realizes. I think maybe they just don't know. I don't know. But so when we got here, in fact, that article that was written, it was right after Christy and I had gone to there was a play called, I don't know if you've heard of it, but it was called Fun Home. And that was written by a lesbian screenwriter. And so we were there, and somebody walked up to us and said, oh my God, it's Denise and Christy, and they've come to the lesbian Mecca. And so, and there is a whole, what is so lovely about Colorado Springs is how everybody just kind of hangs together, and there's a lot of support from the straight community. In fact, there was the Citizens Project that was created here by the straight communities to support the gay community. And so, it was just a really lovely surprise, because we didn't realize we were coming to the lesbian Mecca. We thought we were just going to the mountains. So, and, but it has been just fantastic here. And I think that what happened, you know, in the 90s or in the late 80s when Focus on the Family came, and then there was this big tax break for a lot of the evangelical churches to open here, that Colorado Springs did get this reputation for being very conservative and very intolerant. But actually, especially over here on the west side where we live, you know, the community is very supportive of each other, and we do laugh about how they don't realize just how gay they are.
Oh,
So,
that's funny.
yeah.
That's funny. Well, we're so thrilled to have you here today with us this Sunday, and I know we get to enjoy one more musical number from you. So I'm going to let you move into our green room and get a little bit of more inspiration. And thank you again for coming today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You bet. So today, I'm so fed by music. Music is such a big part of me. It's something that I constantly research and explore. So, I didn't know Denise, but I've followed her for some time. And so I have found her music, and this month we're talking about prayer and how can we get our community to be more engaged in the act of prayer. And I think sometimes I say this, sometimes it feels a little daunting because in our movement, there are times that we think that prayer has to be perfect, or we have to practice it or demonstrate it out loud. And the point of the matter is, when you hear music like that, it is a prayer because it vibrationally lifts us. So I want to play for you something that demonstrates the science of sound. And so let's listen to this. Let's look at this video.
The film you're about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
It's not working. So I'm going to try this again. It looks like it's not loaded up right. So let's just take a moment and try this again. Hold on 1 second.
The film you're about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
Why is it not loading? Not loading. It's not loading. Well, sometimes technology does not work. So I get to explain a little bit to you. Back in about 50 years ago, there was a scientist who did some research. His name is Dr. Hans Jenny. And in this study that he did, it was a study on the relationship between vibration and form. And what he demonstrated was that vibration actually does produce geometry. And there's times that we've talked a lot about in some of our classes and even in some of my talks about this idea of divine geometry. What's really important is that the pattern of sound becomes very visible in that medium. And in this particular case, the video itself was a demonstration of the fact that when you play an instrument, and he used things like water and oil and sand, and when he would play a sound, that the entire geometry would shift. So the shape would shift based upon the sound. And it's called semantics, and that's Cymantics. And when we change a vibration of something, our physical geometry or shape changes. Now, I look at that in a sense of, well, how does that work with respect to the idea of prayer? Because when we align, and we say this all the time, when we align the mix, the perfect mix, which is emotion and thought and feeling, our geometry, our physiology can change. And there's been many studies on the fact of what the this art of prayer can do, the art of thinking positively can do. So prayer, which is interesting, whenever I do prayer, and I say this for anybody out there that's doing prayer, whenever you do prayer, it's important to speak it. It's important to speak it out loud because there's a vibration that actually happens when you speak something out loud. Just like when you hear music, which is the combination of instruments, which is both vocal as well as instruments such as guitar or piano or whatever that might be, there's a vibration that happens. And it's why music's so important in the journey of our spiritual journey, because when I really want to open up, I play music. When I really want to change my thinking around something, which is bring a positive way to think, sometimes I mix music and I mix prayer in there. And I speak to a spiritual truth, and I speak to that truth as if. And the only way I can change it is to change the vibration in which that I'm living. And the way I do that is through prayer. So I wanted to kind of list for you. There are literally about 3 or 4 different types of prayer, 4 different types of prayer in the Western world. One is what we would call a colloquial prayer. And it's a prayer that I would use in a sense when I'm in a bit of trouble. Here's an example. I didn't fill up my gas tank. It's on empty, if not below. And I'm on the way to the gas station. And my colloquial prayer in that particular case was, please just get me to the gas station and I won't do this again. So that's a particular type of prayer. There's also a petitionary prayer, which is to claim our good for a specific outcome, which is, I'm going to say that I will be good. And if I'm good, then something will happen as a result of that good. Ritualistic prayer. Ritualistic prayer might be a set of words that you repeat at a particular time or in a particular situation. We see that a lot for those that may have grown up Catholic or Lutheran. You may have done a particular prayer during sacrament. I know as a Mormon, we did a particular prayer when I was growing up, specifically around the sacrament itself. There's a meditative prayer, which is where you're silent and open and aware. And that's another type of prayer. And in the Western world, it's usually one of those or a combination of those. And what Science of Mind uses, which we've talked about, is the affirmative prayer. And the affirmative prayer is really a statement of spiritual truth. And we do this with 5 steps so that we can anchor into a particular vibration, which I'm going to go back to Denise's music, which is when I heard her music right before I was speaking, I felt as if there was a prayer that was happening. It may not have been the steps that we use, but that doesn't matter because all prayer works. And it doesn't matter how I get there. But what I heard, what was beautiful in her music, is that my heart opened. And the way she spoke about this relationship with God, I felt for myself. Now, what's really interesting about prayer a lot of times, and I'll say this with respect to the types of prayer that we do, is that we usually when we pray, we want answers. And sometimes we're not really, to truly, I think, to anchor into how prayer can be really successful is it's important to know what the right question is. And I don't mean as in right or wrong question, but a question that brings us to truly what we want in our lives. So when I pray sometimes, what I might pray for not be really the thing that contributes to the desire in my life. So it's important for me to ask a question of myself: is what do I really want? What is I'm really trying to accomplish? And I had a conversation recently with someone who said that there was something specifically they wanted in their life. And when I asked the question, why do you want that? And what came out from that was really not what she might be praying for. It was what she thought was the solution to bring about the desire. So it's really important for us to ask the whys of, why am I praying for this? What is it I'm trying to accomplish? What is it? Why is this desire important? Because we have to be in alignment with whatever it is we desire. We have to be in alignment with our thinking and our feeling and emotion. And if we're not, then that's more than likely why our prayer isn't being answered in the way that or in a way in which we really can resonate with it. So often what I do is I ask folks to pause, which is to meet grace, to pause and listen for the bigger question, which is always ask yourself, why do I want this? Why this? And to keep saying those whys until you can actually get to the core of what your desire is. Now, Terry, go ahead and throw up the slide with respect to Ernest Holmes' quote. And Ernest says this, he says, mind is the only cause and law is the only process. The law does not work with our dreams and visions. The law works with what we really are. Now, why is that important? And that's important because the fact that I can dream and I can vision all I want, but if what I want and what I vision for and dream for isn't something I feel deeply, isn't something that I can see for myself, then I can dream and vision all I want, and it's just not going to happen. So stop for a moment and give pause to really, what am I giving to the law? So if I want to have a loving relationship in my life, then I need to feel into me as a loving relationship, the loving relationship with myself, loving relationship with God. And I think sometimes when we think, well, if I want a relationship, what is it I want from that relationship? Because it may not be what I can get from a relationship. So it's important to know that what I'm praying for is truly what I can be. And it's not that, if I want a loving relationship, I can't pray a loving relationship and not be that. I won't get it. I will get a mirror back to what I am and what I'm truly feeling. Again, there's no right or wrong way of praying, but there's certainly an effective way of praying. And Ernest says it's our misunderstanding of the ways of the will and nature of God as to the reasons our prayers are unanswered. If we go back to, and I'll give you an example, if we think that if we think and do not understand how the universe operates, then we're not really able to use this effective use of prayer, this affirmative prayer. We need to know sort of how it works for us. And I'll use an example would be, for example, Moses. Moses did not know how to use electricity, but if he did know, he would have used it then. It's always existed. It's never not been here. But he didn't know it existed. He didn't know how it worked. Just like my story last week with the generator. I don't know how a generator works. So how can I use it or use it effectively if I don't know how it works? I need to know how prayer works. I need to know how the universe works. And this tool that prayer allows me to anchor into unity, connection with the divine. So some of the things that Ernest talks about with respect to prayer is that there's a place within us which lies open to the infinite. When spirit brings its gift, it can only give what we can take. And that goes back to the fact that I must anchor in and be able to embody the very thing which I desire. Otherwise, how would I know what it looks like if it showed up? I have to feel into it. Prayer, in many cases, is its own answer because it changes us. It doesn't necessarily change it. It changes me in the situation so that I can bring about change, a new set of conditions. We know that if it's important along this journey to look at what I believe about God. What do I believe? As Denise talked about her relationship with God, I could see a loving God in that song and realize that a loving God always answers those prayers. Look at the relationship that you have with God. If I think God is a dictator, then I'm not really connected, and God is something outside of me, and obviously is only going to give me, as a dictator, what he or she or whatever I believe thinks I deserve. If God answers some prayers for some people, I am separate from God, as another example. If I must find favor with God, worship God, plead with God, then I am separate from God. The goal in my relationship with God is unity. So there's many ways to do this. And so today I'm just going to say this with respect to, there's a story, Greg Braden he talks about prayer. Greg Braden, the scientist, he talks about prayer, and he gives a story of a Native American shaman that he went into the desert with, and there was a time of drought in New Mexico, and this shaman started to dance around and pray, and the result was very quickly was that rain fell, and not just a little rain, but a lot of rain, and this was after a big drought. And when he asked him, "What is it you were doing?" and he said, "I wasn't praying for rain, I was praying rain. I was praying rain." So prayer is very much to the seed. And I'll give an example of, we talk about seed, soil, and plant as an example of how the creative process works. What gets that seed to birth itself? In this example, it's water. And what is the water for us, for the seed of what we want to bring about in our lives? And that water is prayer. Otherwise, the seed will sit there for hundreds of years and not open its shell. And it is prayer, like water, that opens up the shell to become the plant. So how do I know if my prayer is answered? And that's what I'm going to close with today. How do I know that my prayer is answered? I feel different. I feel different. And that is all I need. Because if I feel different, I will take a step, I will know something is happening, and I will engage in a way through faith that allows that desire to actually manifest in my life. So Terry, I'm going to ask you to put that simple prayer up, and we're going to do this. We did this in the park last week. And that simple prayer is these 5 steps. So I'm going to ask you to say it with me, wherever you're at. Number 1, recognition. God is all life. God is all life. Number 2, unity. As God is all life, God is my life. The realization, I am peace now. Thanksgiving, I am grateful for this expression of myself now. And I release it. I let go and I let God. And so it is. Amen.
Well, namaste. I had the most wonderful time with you all today, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you, Reverend Bobby, for having me with you. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight and just allowing me to be part of this service. And as you guys get ready to go out and start a brand new week, just go knowing that you are blessed and be open to just all the possibility that awaits you. This song that I'm going to sing next is called Open Up. And the funny thing is, when I sang it last year, about this time, I was doing a concert, and one of the questions that I always ask when I set up this question is, when I set up this song is, think of something that's been invented in the last, say, 100 years that you absolutely could not live without. And what was funny about that is last year at this time, I think we all could have agreed that it was toilet paper. But, whether it is toilet paper or it's the computer or cell phones or washing machines, all of these things have one thing in common, and that they all began with an idea. It was an idea that somebody had, and they didn't know if it was going to work or not. But they weren't afraid to put it out there, and it revolutionized our lives. So I just want to encourage you to be open to all of that amazing possibility that is alive within you. And don't be afraid to put it out there, and don't be afraid to share it, because you could revolutionize all of our lives, or you could revolutionize just one person's life. But it all starts with you, and it all comes from you.
When a step seems too hard to take, every turn feels like a big mistake, makes you wanna close your eyes and hide. Trust yourself, even if you're scared. Don't give up, don't give in to fear. All the strength you seek, you'll find inside. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. Open up to what you've known all the time. You are more than you are. You are more than you are. Speak your mind. Make a statement. Don't hide yourself out in the open. Step into the spotlight and shine. Be the change, fall like a domino, a chain reaction that sets the world aglow. Be amazed at how it falls in line. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. Open up to what you've known all the time. Round and round we go, we don't fall down. More than flesh and bone, we're heart and soul, light and miracles. You are more than you are. You are. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. So open up to what you've known all the time. You've known all the time. You are more than you are. You are more than you are. You are more than you are.
Oh, Denise, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
It was really wonderful to hear the gift that you've been giving to all the centers. We've sang your songs, and sometimes I didn't even know they were yours. So now I'm more conscious.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today, and we would love to have you back. And I was wrong in telling you the temperature yesterday. It's 85.
Oh
So-
my gosh, that's just even more painful. I think it was 34 here yesterday.
Oh my goodness, but so beautiful. So thanks again, Denise, and we'll talk really, really soon.
Thank you so much.
So namaste. We're going to, before we get into our gift of giving and bring Reverend Veronica up, a couple things. We've had a little bit of slow technology today, which is why I couldn't get the video. And I'm so grateful you all heard everything I said when I was trying to get that video. So thanks for that. I hide nothing. And secondly, let's get into what we're doing right now as a community. Part of what we do every year is we launch a pledge program. And I've been mentioning this through the last 3 services with respect to what does our pledge program do. And our pledge program is really important. And if you have not pledged yet, I really encourage you to do that. We so far have had around 20 of our 68 members do a pledge specifically for Namaste. It allows us to plan. It allows us to do some things that we're going to get to do in the coming months. One of those things is we're actually going to be meeting in our new space with the streaming team in a small group lottery on March 21st. And so to get to do some of the things that we do, that's what our pledge program supports. And when you do a pledge, you don't have to do any more than you typically do. Look at your current giving, go on to pledge program on our website and fill out the form at the bottom of the web page and just pledge yourself to Namaste. If you are a member of Namaste, I know that you've received quite a bit. I know I receive a lot as the minister here, and our membership has done an amazing job at committing. So I just invite you to do that and to take a look at what we're going to be doing. I'm looking and I'm seeing how folks have been pledging. And when you pledge to the community, it supports and feeds you back. And that's the reciprocal nature of the universe. So go ahead and make that pledge. And I'm going to bring Veronica up, and she's going to go ahead and usher in that giving that we do. Veronica, good to see you.
Good to see everyone. Hello, namaste.
Veronica, I know you've done your pledge, and I just want to thank you for that. Brand new minister at Namaste, doing an amazing job. We're so grateful to have you as part of the community.
I love being here. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Veronica, and she's going to launch us into our giving for this beautiful day.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Bobby. And thank you, Denise, for that amazing, amazing music. Yes, definitely touched my heart. Yes, it is time for our giving. And, pledge is just as important as our tithing. And, it's Give Plus is the easiest way that we can give. I signed up for it, and it was such an easy way to give. You can do PayPal, you can do Venmo, you can go to our website. And, I was reading this book. It's called That Money is Love. And I loved what it said. It said that, says, each dollar I send out into the world flows from me on a current of love and light, so that each dollar I send out into the world can touch another person with love. And that is why I give, because I know that each dollar that I send out into Namaste is magnified and touches out into our community and helps others. And so, as as we give, yes, we receive, but most importantly, as we give, we're giving on a global scale. So thank you, everyone, for what you do give, what you're able to give. It can always, adjust it as life, goes on. But, try and stretch yourself, because I have, that was my biggest lesson, is when I stretched myself in the area of giving. And I've never turned back. It's really a blessing. So thank you, namaste. And as we move into our benediction for today, our benediction of the day, thank you. If you can read along with me. And here we go. Let's take a deep breath in let's get present. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Good. As we declare this benediction today, God is all. Perfect God within me, through me and as me. Perfect life within me, through me, and as me. This life is revealed now as me and is expressed as my life right now. Not later when my ego decides it's good enough. It is good enough now. I am led into paths that express that life. I am in calm confidence of this truth. I let it go. I let God. And so it is. And so it is. Yes, beautiful. I love that benediction prayer. Okay. Thank you for reading along with me on that. And we're going to move right into our Namaste benediction. And we are all familiar with this slide that talks about who we are as Namaste. And so, yes, we read it at the end of every service, but I want you to read it again, like it's the first time that you've ever read it. So, Terry, if you could bring that slide up for me, please. And then we'll read it together.
I'm going to bring me up and say we removed that slide. And so we removed the We Are Now slide today.
Okay.
And
all right. Well, no
everyone's
problem.
having a wonderful day.
I'm glad that you brought yourself up, Terry, because it gives me an opportunity to thank you and your wonderful self for being our director today. We couldn't do without you, and I know we've had a few little technical, difficulties, but that's life, and I just appreciate you being behind the scenes supporting us with our technology today. So thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
All right, and thank everyone. Yes, thank you. And so I'm going to turn it over to Kong.
Hello, thank you. Namaste, you're wonderful. Thank you, everybody who helps make this possible. And special thanks to Denise. Her music is great. Loved hearing you today. And we've done a few of your songs, as Bobby said. And one of them I really love playing happens to be this, which I'm going to do a little homage today as I go into my last song of the day. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Oh, Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. Oh, we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. Oh, we got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picking lies and picking sides, don't punish me with brutality. Don't talk to me and you will see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Yeah, 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 yeah. everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply 'cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Picking lines and picking sides. Don't punish me with brutality. Come talk to me and you will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Spirit is in this place. Yeah.
I love you more every time, Kong. Every single time.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you for joining us this week with this amazing music. I just want you to know when we're in the green room and Terry and I am down there dancing, and I think it's a Vegas thing. What happens in the green room stays in the green room. But I keep trying to make Terry laugh, and now he's finally laughing because he knows I'm doing it to him. But I just want you to know, have a really, really great week. Namaste. I want to thank Terry, and I want to thank Denise and Kong and Candace and Veronica and Valerie who joined us today. And Lisa Danskin was holding vigil in the background as one of our practitioner training. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you all. Have a great week. Be safe. And remember to pray.